Oversize TV, a tradition of truth. Middlemen.
Hello folks, and welcome to this very special episode of the Middlemen of the Jurors. I am Juror Cyril Abaku. With me, of course, is the juror who prefers to don a rabbi's hood. He is none other than Juror Rabbi Evans Ufeli. Rabbi, you're welcome to.
Thank you very much.
All right, we move very straight to business. Today, Rabbi will be taking a look at the army's imprecision and the tears of a people, while I, Rabbi Juror Cyril Abaku, beg your pardon, will be taking a look at the president's oversized delegation to COP28 in Dubai. But I will pass the baton to the Rabbi Juror to begin his lines before I will take mine. Rabbi, it's over to you.
My case, the army's imprecision and the tears of a people. An army drone strike accidentally hit a village in northwestern Nigeria, killing dozens of civilians, following its battle with the jihadists in the northeast and bandit militia in the northwest. Nigerian army forces often rely on the airstrike in their battle against the bandit militia in the northwest and northeast of the country, where jihadists have been waging a 14-year-old conflict. The army did not provide details on the death toll for the strike late Sunday in Tudunbirin village, Kaduna State, but residents said dozens were killed and wounded. Dozens of wounded victims were taken to the teaching hospital in the state capital in Kaduna. Local state Security Commissioner Samuel Arunu said, following a meeting with army officials and community leaders. According to the army, it was a routine mission against militants that inadvertently affected members of the community. A resident, Husseini Ibrahim, said he lost 13 members of his immediate family amongst the 85 that were killed. Many of the victims were women and children. Nigerian military bombing raids have caused civilian casualties in the past, and we must recount this. At least 20 fishermen were killed and several injured in September 2001 attack in Kwata, Dambam, Masara on Lake Chad in the northeast, when the military mistook them for militants. In January 2017, at least 112 people were killed when a fighter jet struck a camp housing 40,000 people displaced by the jihadist violence in the town of Ran near the border with Cameroon. The Nigerian military blamed lack of appropriate marking of the area in a report issued 6 months later. Now, here is my ruling. The army is negligent. Part of their training is to ensure that the safety of civilians across all nooks and crannies within their space of operation is preserved. The 1977 protocol was adopted as an amendment of the Geneva Convention prohibiting the deliberate and indiscriminate attack of civilians and civilian objects, even if the area contained military objectives. The attacking forces must take precaution and steps to spare the lives of civilians and civilian objects as possible. The Nigerian Army is in breach of this protocol that qualifies precision bombing in times of armed conflict. I therefore call for the resignation of all the security chiefs and a prompt prosecution of them, either jointly or severally, for crime against humanity.
Rabbi, I couldn't concur more than the submissions you've made thus far. The reality is that right now as we speak, the army chief has apologized as if this should suffice. But apology does not convey justice.
At all.
There must be first of all, at what point was it concluded that an airstrike was necessary? Who fed the intelligence? And For how long has the army, not the Air Force, but has the army been conducting airstrikes with drones in the war on terror? There are a lot of questions that require answers. But unfortunately, we're trying to look at it in a way in which he has apologized. Let's just leave it. We are sorry for what people have died, livelihoods have been lost. That location had more of women and children. So clearly something was wrong. It is either we're using the wrong machines, the wrong men, the wrong intelligence, or something is wrong. I mean, you were recounting the one that happened in Iran. I recall Iran very well, and few other cases.
Yes.
If we have this pattern, it means that this may not even be the end.
Yes.
And so the question is, what is wrong with our strategy in prosecuting the war on terror that we are not sitting down to properly examine, to ensure that we're not bombing our own people, bombing civilians, bombing fathers, bombing mothers, bombing children. As you and I speak today, the governor of Kaduna said he's still in Dubai. Even after the president, whom he accompanied to attend the COP28 summit, came back to the country on Tuesday night. So one begins to wonder, is that his leadership is even really serious about lives being lost, or it's just another event and let's just move on? Frankly speaking, if this were to be a serious country, the president won't even allow, as commander-in-chief, won't even allow the army leadership to stay in place while investigation is being conducted into how this moment took place. On the other hand, even they would know that this having happened is like the end of the road for them. You know, they will step aside. But we're in a country where we can manage anything.
Yes, and I think there is this. Some critics have said that perhaps the army is being sabotaged. That there may be a crop of people in the army that are actually against the general public, that want to actually rot this level of incalculable damage against the system. This is a crime against humanity.
It is.
If you look at the Geneva Convention I cited in my case, it's very serious, that particular protocol that talk about precision bombing. And this was developed over time from issues that have occurred over time from war, from the Second World War down to the Gulf War, the other war we've had across the country in Africa, Somalia, Liberia, and all that. The international humanitarian law developed this concept to ensure that the military they have to understand what it is they should do, the rules of engagement,
yes.
One of which is safety and the preservation of lives and properties. Civilian target must be preserved. Military objective must be achieved. Even if the civilians are mixed with the enemy, there must be precision in whatever you are doing.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
but here it appears for using a drone, for example, a drone is manufactured to determine precision and exactitude. Okay, except it was wrongly controlled by the wrong person. You won't have a drone strike going to the wrong direction, because a drone can be manipulated from a strong room or a control room.
Yeah.
And in a control room, you have the map. Okay, you have identified the enemies in a location. You have the map. You can always take that the object, the drone to the spot.
Identify the targets.
Yes, get the target and execute. But here, this is not the first time. We had one that happened where the fishermen were killed, and the second one that killed almost 117 or thereabouts. And these are people in the IDPs who were displaced by the same insurgents that you are hitting them.
How does the insurgents are killing our people? Then the army too is basically killing our people.
Yes, and the insurgencies, they will go home rejoicing because the people they displaced, whom they killed part of, now are being killed. Yeah, the army now is executing what is left of what the insurgencies have done. So that is why I said the army is negligent. They are culpable. They are not trained, okay, to miss targets. They are not trained for. Their training or through is to ensure that targets are met. Okay, execution are done according to intelligence. Okay, but here we are seeing a different thing entirely. Is it that our army have compromised, Or is it that there are people in the army that are sabotaging the effort of the nation and the army? Is it that our army, they do not have the adequate requisite training they require? There are so many questions. Who is behind this? The country need to know, the public want to know. We cannot continue to lose our citizens. Here we have over 100 have been killed so far. Now it speaks a lot about, this kind of attack speaks a lot about why we have not been able to decimate the insurgents. Yes, it tells you that it's either is a case of incompetence or it's a case of outright sabotage.
Complicity.
Yes. So which is the case? I will leave the viewers to ponder on the issue, but my ruling is that the army chiefs who just not too long ago came to the National Assembly
to blame
blame the judiciary and to ask for more money,
for more money.
To execute war, the crime against insurgents and all that. I think that the three of them, Lagbaja, Ogala, and Musa, the three of them should be dismissed from the army, completely unprosecuted. Four of them, yes. So, because we cannot continue to have this kind of strike repeatedly, and we're not doing anything very serious about it.
Middleman.
Nigeria's bizarre oversized delegation to COP28 in Dubai. President Bola Tinubu's outsized delegation to the Conference of Parties 28 this past weekend left Nigerians bewildered, but sadly, Nigerians are no strangers to the outrageous when it comes to governance in our dear country. Actually, successive governments have consistently made a feast of the privilege of public service. Even so, a whopping 1,411 delegates to one conference is a record. Why did the president need such a large number to make up his entourage to a meeting that we were neither the host nation nor the main financier? That's a question that begs for answers. Meanwhile, it cost the Nigerian delegation about a whopping 880 million naira. Yes, you heard that. Just to take off, just to fly in the first place. At the time, the government has asked the people to tighten their belts. It becomes difficult to see how this is an example of what government is preaching. By the way, who were those on the said entourage? Family members, friends, well-wishers, perhaps neighbors of the government, of the president, as you may like to put it. This is also coming at a time when we're borrowing monies to fund projects and, well, other in terms of government that are not projects, such as vehicles for the office of the First Lady, a yacht for the presidency, vehicles for lawmakers at outrageous costs, and so on.
And
which means we're borrowing to fund vanities. Here is my verdict. The National Assembly must pass a law very, very quickly, defining what constitutes a presidential delegation to any international outing. That same law must clearly spell out the mode of payment for the government as to who is going where and who is paying what. I so rule.
Your case today appears to be one of the most burning issues in the polity as we speak, where an entire country, the executive, undertook a prodigal journey to the same Dubai where we've had issue. The first time the president went to Dubai, we came back with one very funny outing. Now we're back there on a different assignment with a humongous number of people, unnecessarily so, for just a summit or a conference. At the end of the day, you ask yourself, why should you spend 880 million just because you want to go for a conference on environmental issues? These environmental issues, Is it that when they return for this conference, we are going to pull down the sky and lay a new one? Or what exactly is the importance or the benefit of that conference to the masses of this country? It has no economic benefit. It has no academic content. It has nothing in it for the average man on the street. Nothing. And yet, government, the essence of government is security and welfare of the people. How well have they tackled the main issues of governance that we have to go? You see, the truth is that the 880 million was what was spent on flights, right? What was spent on hotels? Is it that figure? That figure, does it comprise what was spent on a hotel, what was spent on food, what was spent on shopping, and maybe tourist sighting? You pay money to see some of these wonderful sights when you travel. So the truth is that we have not learned any lesson in this country at all. All this one was saying that palliative this, palliative that, where people are getting 2 cups of rice. We live in sharp contrast in this country. The government and their family and their cohorts have a different, when you say Nigeria is not working, perhaps not for you. There are people who Nigeria is working for, who are ready to die to ensure that they keep the system like this. It is when the system is like this that they are happy. Nigeria is working for them. But for the larger populace, you wake up in the morning and you see this kind of thing. And one of the things that strike my mind is that we have children who are in high school and primary school who get a glimpse of these things. I wonder what they make, because for some of us who are spent, technically, we could, absorb this thing because we are used to it, and then find somewhere to relax, spread our legs, and talk about it extensively, and sometimes like we are doing in TV, in order to degas this level of this thing that is coming into us. But for children, for the middle age and that, seeing this kind of waste, some of them sit on the ground in the classrooms. Okay, some of them can't afford food to go to the.
Our
some of them
universities are like that. Master students are using phone touchlight to study.
Yes. Today on the street, I saw many students from the public school trekking long distance home. These were students that used to take buses before. If you used to take buses, you find them in the bus. Sometimes you pay for them. Sometimes the 3 of them will lap on a seat to pay for 1 seat and all that. Today, they can no longer lap to pay for 1 seat. They trek all the way. You see students trekking from as far as Ikeja to Agidingbi. Ikeja High School to Agidingbi, that's a long distance. Is over 8 kilometers. A child will do that in the morning and in the
a country where security is...
Yes, where security is an issue, where
students could be kidnapped very easily.
Yeah, there's zero medicals. There's zero everything. You are spending 280 million naira to go and blow it up. Then somebody is saying they are using 50 billion to build a house for the vice president. Befitting. If they use, is it 50 billion, not 5 billion, 50 billion. 15 billion.
Yes.
If they use 15 billion to build a house for you, can you sleep inside? I won't be able to sleep inside. You know why? Because 15 billion is not 15 million. You will not be able to sleep inside. Somebody wants to sleep inside. In this poverty, you want to. So this kind of journey, it's because we're even aware. If it were a journey that have economic impact, international impact, they won't fund it. How many times have they left our footballers when they go and play football?
Abandon them.
They'll abandon them. Who are they representing?
No kids.
No
transport.
No medical, nothing. Some of them who play for other clubs, when they come, join them in training and all that, they fund. There was a time one of the footballers paid for other colleagues. So you can imagine that kind of a thing. So this is, but if it is the one for Jamboree, for prodigal profligacy, they will go there. You find persons who have no connection at all with governance, who neither understand nor...
Maybe they are prayer warriors who have been praying for them to come into government, and now that they are there, what the God has done it for them, or also wants to do for them. I mean, when your neighbor's bread has been buttered, there's a chance you too should be carried along.
Yeah, it is terrible, but they shouldn't be. They should allow us to rest. You understand? Because there's a sense in which you continue to push people to a point where they will no longer want to take any more from you. The country is not in the position where maybe if it were maybe 1999, 2000, when the country was a little bit, even though people were complaining then, but at least it was not like this. Okay, perhaps you could spend that and maybe still recoup it and all that, but not today. Not today, where people are buying fuel for 600 naira. Okay, people have no jobs, they cannot feed. Lunatics are increasing all over the place. People are depressed. Some are completely cut off from what is going on. They are suffering from what we call clinical depression. And you now add this kind of news to what they are going through. It is not what you are doing. It is that the effect of what you are doing is not good for the mental health of so many persons. Yeah. You understand? So, and if the country continues in this trajectory, this country may collapse under its own contradiction, because what the government is not adding up. You are not taking care of anything significant. We have not seen, since this is the 7 months of this government, we have not seen the blueprint of where this government is going.
Where they are going.
We've not seen it. Okay? We don't know their plan on power. We don't know their plan on welfare. We don't know their plan on education. We saw a budget that was not even well prepared. There was no breakdown. Did you notice there was no breakdown in that budget?
They said that the president sent the flash drive to the National Assembly containing the details of the budget.
But they didn't see it. They said the budget, they were not found. That for me was gross misconduct. It was supposed to be an impeachable offense, because the National Assembly was supposed to oversight it, only for them to discover that there was nothing to oversight. So that right given to them by Section 88 and 89 of the 1999 Constitution is sacred. Section 88, 89 of the Constitution means...
That's assuming we have a National Assembly.
Yes. Because what the National Assembly means is all of us here. Because we donated our allegiance to some persons to go and represent us. Now, because all of us cannot be there, if all of us go there, we will not have any meaningful agreement. So those we donated allegiance to, they represent us there. So, and then the Constitution now empowered them as the people to oversight whatever it is government is bringing as budgetary allocation, a statement of intention. Now, only to discover that they have been played by the executive. There was nothing to oversight and all that. So it tells you that I don't know whether this government, my fear with the past government was the way Buhari went about it. And I said it then that this man just wants to become president. Every other thing is an afterthought. And when he started telling you he's not aware. This man now is there. This one now is there now. This one is like, why this one is dangerous is that he talks before he thinks. Subsidy is gone. Then he now start to think and all that. So we need to, the Nigerian masses need to define what it is exactly they want from this government.
But in principle, when you put down the benefits of COP28 for Nigeria in Naira, what does it come to? Yeah. What does it really come to, frankly speaking? We had a world's third largest delegation to the conference. What does it come to? Of what benefit is it that we went for COP28 and that we are back? We have issues of people, oil thieves, who are carrying large vessels to Ondo and the creeks in the Delta, loading crude oil and taking it away. Then sometimes when they are arrested or caught, they bomb them up. Our waterways are polluted. In Ogoni land, the Ogoni cleanup has not taken place fully. You have another pollution in Bayelsa that is perennial. You have pollution in Calabar, in Akwa Ibom, and yet we are attending a COP with the third largest delegation, and where there's nothing. It's not as if that delegation went to make a case for the Nigerian environment or for the Nigerian space. we were not the financiers. We just went there. So how has that now made our image better in the world?
I cannot agree that the organizers issued invitation for 100 and
no 1,000 and
1,000 plus.
And then they said the WHO and some people we said it's a lie. They didn't sponsor anybody. They didn't sponsor nobody. Now this is Nigeria's own misbehave and waste.
Can you organize anything in this world and issue 1,000 plus invitation to one country to come, even if it's World Cup?
When they are not staff of the Ministry of Environment, they are not staff of the Ministry of Justice, they are not staff of the Ministry of Finance or Budget, they are not staff of the Presidency. They just put on the.
You see, it is. They say that it is through sleep that you know how death is. When Tinubu first got in, before he got the presidency, he went to Chatham House. You understand? He went with plenty people to Chatham. When they asked him question, he would delegate it.
The red flag should answer it for him.
That was a red flag.
They said it was an innovation.
It is an innovation. That there's a team that is innovation. Now that is innovation.
A team of experts.
I didn't know that the man was rehearsing. See where we are now.
No, they said because the restrictions of Nigerians going to Dubai, people thought this was that Christmas came early for them. So they went to Dubai to enjoy Christmas. Maybe that's why the governor of Kaduna didn't also come back after even the president had left. I mean, you have a chance to.
So is Dubai so special that we are getting to the point where if we are restrained, we have to use the presidential privilege to pull the entire country there?
Well, you've seen it now.
Are we thinking, are these people not laughing at us? So because I cannot enter Dubai now by virtue of restriction, so I need to wait anytime the president wants to do whatever, I'll go and smuggle myself with the president to go there. To do what exactly?
And the question I asked, was the president also aware that he was traveling with 1,410 Nigerians?
You see, there are certain persons that should be sacked.
Was the president aware?
The president's chief of staff needs to be investigated. The protocol officers of that trip, those who put that trip together, need to be. How much was the ESTA code? Because that 800 something is not the ESTA code. It's what was spent on flight. The ESTA code officially released for that journey will far outweigh that 880. I'm just telling you. So we are wasting resources. We are killing the country. The old and the young, everybody is in trouble. I don't know when we are going to come out from this level of profligacy and what exactly the future holds for the average Nigerian.
Oh, well, of course, there you have it. I must thank the jury from Rabbi Evans Ofeli for making our time today to be on the Middlemen.
You're welcome.
That's how far we can go on today's episode of the Middlemen. Until we come away again next week, do keep a date with us, and we implore you to like and subscribe to our page on social media. We are at Enterprise TV 7 on Facebook, on Twitter, as well as YouTube. Until next week again, it's bye for now.
Your one-stop shop for news, programs, human angle stories, the economy, sports, and much more. We go the extra mile to bring incredible details to you. So hop on the train now. Enterprise TV, a traditional